with the new merch on the MPB shop. Check out our latest drop with apparel from your favorite TV and radio shows, both current and throwback, featuring fan favorites like Next Stop Mississippi, Southern Dish, Ampton Wired, and more. Every purchase you make supports MPB. Visit mpbonline.org and click the shop button at the top to show your support today.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome to Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White with Carol Palmer. We are glad you are here. Carol, how are you?
Mal, I'm glad you're here.
It's good to be together. So, let's see. So many things. First of all,
Where do we start?
I brought you some apple cake. You can't see it because your computer screen is blocking it. But my wife, Kara, makes a delicious cold oven apple cake. It's made with Honey Crisp apples, and it's fantabulous. So I brought you and John a sampling.
I think I willed it into my life.
Yeah, you said.
I thought about it a couple of days ago.
You saw me, and I had aluminum foil, and you said apple cake.
Honestly, I had been thinking apple cake.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, we haven't been cooking a lot at the house. Well, I do cook off and on. Kara cooks. But last night she made a homemade marinara sauce, which was so good. It was made from the one and only batch of Patterson tomatoes we got this year. The tomatoes really acted up this year with all the rain and all the heat. A lot of people that generally supply me with tomatoes, were limited and had some issues with that. But the one big load I got from David and Melissa, we froze most of them. We ate part of them and froze most of them. But anyway, Kara broke out one of the bags last night and made a really, really nice homemade marinara sauce. Nothing like it, really.
Yeah, good for you. Well, I was making creamed corn over at my house.
I love creamed corn.
And I have just a little tidbit to report that I thought of.
Okay.
Of many of the reasons that I love this show. And it's a few years ago when we were talking about summer vegetables, somebody called in, we were talking about creamed corn, and they talked about a trick they use to, scrape the corn off the cob.
Right.
And it was so wonderful, and I've used it ever since. You take the piece of corn and you put it in the hole in a bundt pan, to stand it up. It fits just perfect. Stands up and you
just shave.
And it goes right into the pan because, those pesky corn kernels are bad to escape all over your kitchen.
And I always get corn splatter on the lenses of my glasses.
Yes, I know. There's corn splatter, and there's still a little bit here. But I thought, wasn't that a nice trick to learn
great.
here on Deep South Dining?
And it's sometimes I think of it as corn milk.
Oh, yeah.
But let me ask you this question. Speaking of cream corn, I love cream corn. What is the difference, in your opinion or in your world, between fried corn and cream corn? Do you
I would
do
say
both?
I don't really do fried corn.
You don't
but
do
I think
okay.
the cream corn for me is scraping the milk off the off the cobs, and then of course there is some cream involved.
Some real cream,
corn
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and milk. And I guess I've done fried corn before. Used like olive. It's just like olive oil.
But no cream.
It's like a saute, and it's delicious too.
Yeah, I love both.
In fact, that's a good idea for the extra 2 ears of corn I have.
You have 2 ears left over?
And the corn is so sweet
Is
right
it that
now.
white Silver Queen?
It's probably Silver Queen. It was so sweet when I tasted it after I cooked it. I thought, I didn't put sugar in this. I mean, it was
you don't have to.
It was so sweet.
So It is August, barely, but it is nevertheless
Indeed.
August. And it is National Catfish Month,
It
among
comes
other
around
things.
every year.
And we were chatting, Marissa and I were chatting about let's do a show on all of the seafood markets from the coast to the catfish hills and just do a general roundup of all the seafood markets that we love and cherish and depend on. So we want to, I guess, do sort of a call out for those of you who listen and might want to shoot us a list of your favorite seafood markets so we can include them in the seafood roundup whenever we do it. We'll be doing it soon. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there into the ethosphere.
Yeah, and let's just pause for the catfish. I saw you Friday. At Howland Mall.
Yes, you did.
When John and I went for Catfish Friday.
Right. Every Friday
It's Catfish
is
Friday.
Catfish Friday. And if I'm in Jackson, I'm in Howland Mal's eating fried catfish.
Well, the thing we got so tickled about is you were walking around with 2 little containers of
tartar sauce.
And you say, I always collect tartar sauce.
Everywhere I go,
It's an important.
I ask for a couple of tartar sauce to go. And I take them home and I taste them and I sort of diagnose them. You know, my brother made a fabulous tartar sauce recipe. It's not like I'm looking for anything. I just like having, containers of tartar sauce in my refrigerator. Because I tell you what I love to do.
John so much he wanted tartar sauce.
He took some. Well, one of my favorite meals are these salmon cakes. They have them at Fresh Market. They have them at Whole Foods. And because they cut and process fresh salmon in these establishments, they get a lot of salmon in. They cut it, and there's lots of salmon pieces. And so they chop them into or grind them into or process them into salmon cakes, like a crab cake or like a hamburger patty.
Yeah, they're salmon burgers.
And I love them, and I buy them. And so that's primarily what I do with this tartar sauce to go. I experiment. I put it on my salmon sandwiches. So
Well,
anyway.
I really appreciated that from you because I think one of the greatest sins in life is bottled tartar sauce.
Oh no!
It's so
wrong.
easy just to make. It just
it's super
it doesn't
easy to
even
make.
take 3 or 4 minutes
Yeah.
in the difference, and you can tell when you go somewhere and they make their tartar sauce. It's just,
Absolutely. Anybody that's serving tartar sauce pre-made in a bottle can do Carol and I a favor and simply not invite us over the next time you're planning on serving it.
And another catfish tip I found out because John had a hankering for catfish, and I had to come up with something quick. And Corner Market has catfish strips every day except for Saturday.
Corner Market. Very
Yeah,
good.
Nice. Now, I didn't check their tartar sauce. But,
Well, you don't want their tartar
but that
sauce
was
would
kinda
be
good
my guess,
because we're
but I
always
don't
waiting
know.
for Catfish Fridays wherever we were. You know,
Yeah.
so many people have Catfish Fridays.
I tell you, I go to
And
Walker's.
This could have been a Tuesday.
I go to Walker's. I get two tartar sauce to go as well there. But anyway, I also love Cock of the Walk's tartar sauce.
We talked about that.
Really delish. All right. So also in the news, August 5th is National Oyster Day. Now, I say that out of deference and, devotion to the oyster, of which we all love, but also because I found an article about the only female oyster farmer in Alabama, Jackie Wilson. I found a story about Jackie Wilson, who has her own oyster company called Bama Bay Oysters. And I sent the article to Marissa and to you, Carol, because Marissa, we're going to try to run this lady Jackie down and get her on the show.
Oh yeah, we're looking out for her. Hopefully we can get in contact. She has a great story.
So,
Malcolm.
yes.
Excuse me, Malcolm.
No, go right ahead.
I found it odd that National Oyster Day is in August because you always had learned before
Are.
months that are.
Yeah.
Oysters are in season. Did you find that peculiar?
I thought it was odd, but we don't pick these days. We need to report out to the National Food Designation Day Committee that we find that odd, Marissa. If you're in touch with them,
I'll find a contact for us to complain to.
I know that
we need to issue a formal complaint.
I'm on it.
That rule does not seem to apply
Not
as much
anymore.
anymore. I think with refrigeration and and things, but
and farming and all these other things.
Yeah, but still, that's in the public conscious that oysters are in season.
Oysters
and
are.
If you can find an R in August, you're
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't spell. And the last day I want to point out, I said August 6th. Anyway, August 5 is National Orchard Day. August 6th, Carol, is National Root Beer Float Day. And that's
I can
huge.
get behind that.
I can get behind a Barks Root Beer float.
Right.
Love them.
And
Grew up on them.
Yeah, and nothing like Barks root beer to go with the po' boy.
Absolutely.
Barks root beer in a bottle. It has to be in a bottle. And still on the coast, when you go to po' boy places, they have Barks root beer in a bottle.
Of course
it's a
they
thing.
do.
It's the perfect accompaniment.
We had them in Hallamow's for years and years and years and years and years. I'm not sure they still have the Barks in the bottle. I don't think they do. But when Hal and I were wearing the aprons, we always had 6-ounce Cokes or 6.5-ounce Cokes and Barks root beer in a bottle, because that's just the way we roll. Okay, I wanted to tell our listeners to put this on their calendar. Our great friend Elaine Trigiani of Jackson, living in Italy now for over 20 years, is a culinary travel guide, as a chef, a writer. She will be back on the show next week, August the 10th. So if you are interested in olive oil or traveling to Italy or art, she's an expert in food and art. Please put this on your radar for next Monday here on Deep South Dining, Elaine Trigiani. Also coming up, Carol, Regina Charbonneau is coming on the show on August 24.
And boy, have we wanted to get her on.
We've been chasing Regina around, and she has a recent cookbook, and she has reopened the historic King's Tavern in Natchez for cooking classes, for special events. And she is just an all-star and has long been the queen of biscuits and the queen of Natchez. And we are so excited to have our friend Chef Regina Charbonneau coming on August 24. Now, last week we talked a little bit about our buddy Alon Shia's new book, Carol.
Yep. Alon is just one of New Orleans' greatest chefs, and we had the pleasure of interviewing him in Meridian this year at the Max, and both of us have his cookbook.
Absolutely.
You actually cooked a wonderful recipe.
The roasted eggplant.
Oh my goodness, that
it
was
was
good.
So good. Look, Marissa's shaking her head in there. She's like, I remember.
Yep. And he has memories of a good meal, recipes of resilience. And he talked about this when we were with him in Meridian.
In our interview, he sure did.
And it's inspired by stories of survival in World War II. It's oral histories, historical research, and recipes inspired by the lives of Holocaust survivors.
And other World War II heroes. Yep. And it is, I think, co-written by historian June Hirsch, along with Alon, I'm sorry, I'll get your name right in a minute, buddy. But anyway, we're looking forward to that. The cookbook comes out on August 6th. We'd love to get him back on and to have him share a little bit about that. In the news, the Clarion Ledger reports that movie producer and entrepreneur Tom Rice, the owner of Louise's Piano Bar and Jazz Club in Fondren, is now proposing to open Tommy's, a new butcher shop and charcuterie boutique in Jackson's Fondren neighborhood. The shop will be located in the Woodland Hills Shopping Center, which Carol knows a little bit about, and is intended to complement Rice's ever-growing investments in that part of town. We're very much excited about that.
We love it when people come home, especially from far away like California.
Do good things and then come on back to the house. According to the article, Tommy's will focus on premium cut meats and custom butcher cuts, homemade charcuterie and specialty cured meats, high-quality ingredients for home cooks and food enthusiasts, serving as a neighborhood destination that emphasizes craftsmanship and local food culture, and we are very excited about that. All right, in just a few minutes, we'll take a break, but when we come back, we are going to talk about chitlins. And recently, I saw a piece in the news from our great friend Ace Atkins, the writer up in Oxford, Carol.
Yes, he's one of my favorites. And, you know, I had forgotten that Ace Atkins played football at Auburn.
I remember
And
he
his
was a
dad,
football
he played,
player.
Yeah, in the NFL. But, you know, he's written tons of books. I
Yes,
think
New York Times best-selling author.
Yes, Ace Atkins. He has a character named Quinn Colson, who was a very good guy sheriff, and he has a fictional county in Mississippi where all his books are set. It's Tibahaw County. But you sent this funny little thing. He had sent a photograph of the Four-Way, which is a historic Memphis soul food restaurant. And as we were talking about chitlins this week, it said, what did it say? It said,
well, they have a sign up at the Four-Way that says, "Don't ask, we do not sell chitlins." So they must have been asked over and over and over that for people wanting chitlins at the Four-Way. Ace thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I was so glad.
I thought it was hilarious
that
too.
he posted. I mean, the Four-Way is such a historic soul food place. Dr. Martin Luther King and all the musicians from the Stax Records have hung out there and been a part of that. But the one thing they don't do is they don't do chitlins. However, here on Deep South Dining, we do chitlins. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we have two great friends, Chef Enrika Williams and Glenda Barner of Sugar's Place in downtown Jackson. And we are going to talk Bobby Rush, and we are going to talk Chitlin Circuit and chitlins. And with that, we'll take a short break and be right back with more Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
School choice, rural hospitals, voter access. The 2026 Mississippi Legislature will impact you and your family for years to come. MPB brings you At Issue, a weekly analysis of the legislative session and the issues affecting you with perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Brandon Jones and new At Issue analyst Rebecca Staples join me, Wilson Stribling, every Monday at 5 p.m. only on MPB Think Radio and wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Support the programs you love and wear your Mississippi pride on your sleeve. Literally, with the new merch on the MPB shop. Check out our latest drop with apparel from your favorite TV and radio shows, both current and throwback, featuring fan favorites like Next Stop Mississippi, Southern Dish, Ampton Wired, and more. Every purchase you make supports MPB. Visit mpbonline.org and click the shop button at the top to show your support today.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining. That is the one and only Bobby Rush, friend to us all and great neighbor to those of us who are blessed to live here in the city of Soul, Jackson, Mississippi. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what Bobby's up to and what we're up to. But thank you for rejoining Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio. Want to remind you that our Deep South Dining podcast is brought to you by Mississippi Red Pepper Sauce. You can read more about it and discover a whole lot more about it at msredpeppersauce.com. And as I said, today we are talking about one of the South's most storied and perhaps misunderstood foods, chitlins. Our conversation is inspired in part by the upcoming MPB television premiere of King of the Chitlin Circuit, Bobby Rush. For members and sustainers of MPB, you can get an early access to the documentary on demand with Mississippi MPB's Passport playing right now. King of the Chitlin Circuit premieres next Monday night, August 10th at 8 p.m. on MPB television. And there is a free screening on August the 11th at 7 p.m. at the Capri Theater. Carol?
Malcolm. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
You know, it's great to bring the food chitlin and the whole idea of the Chitlin Circuit together, because that word can tell two completely different stories. One's about food, one's about music, and really both of those are about making something beautiful from circumstances no one would choose. So it reminds us of how people transform scraps into family traditions. And the Chitlin Circuit, which is where Bobby played, remind us that black performers had to create their own opportunities when segregation denied them mainstream stages. So creativity overcomes hardship, and we're going to talk about both of those things today.
And joining us, as I said before our break, is Chef Enrika Williams, who is a regular on this show and who is a great friend to this show. And we are always joyful that she comes to see us. And also Glenda Barner from Sugar's Place in downtown. And Glenda, we want to welcome you to the show, and we're looking forward to hearing about your place. But welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Absolutely. So let's just break it down, and I guess a good way to start would be to say, what relationship did chitlins have in your life? And I'll go first and just simply say this. I have eaten chitlins. They're not my favorite, but I sure do appreciate their history and their story. I remember as a kid going over to neighbors' houses, and the parents would prepare chitlins and sort of make us kids try them, and I did. Once I got past the smell and got to the taste, it wasn't so bad. But I must say I have not revisited it many times since then. Enrika, how about you?
So you are a lot more braver than I have ever been in my life when it comes to chitlins, because I have never tasted a chitlin. The smell and seeing them being cleaned and just the look of them, I just could never get into that. I was a pig foot girl, so pig feet did it for me. Other organs I enjoy, but chitlins, I don't know. I could just never get into it, but I always knew it was such a daunting task to clean them.
It's quite an enterprise.
Yeah.
That was, as a child, I remember thinking, They've been working on this for hours, like half a day.
And even the tubs that they used to come in, because like I'm, again gonna tell like how old I am, and I remember those red tubs with the white lids, and they would have them like in the Piggly Wiggly or the Sunflower, and people would get like 3 and 4 jugs or cases of those things, and they would clean them. And I'm like, what are they going to do with all those chitlins? And most of the time they would get them and cook them and then share them. Because a lot of people want to eat good chitlins, but everybody don't know how to clean good chitlins.
Right.
Okay, Glenda.
Lay it on us.
Hey,
Because you've cooked them.
I have. I've cooked them for many years. I grew up on chitlins. Chitlins was a tradition in our house for New Year's Eve. We always had them for New Year's Day. And that was the only time we had them. We had them once a year.
Okay.
And Enrika brought back a memory. I remember when I'd never seen a hog killed until I married my husband in about 79. His dad killed a hog. And I saw the chitlins come out of the hog and actually putting the hose pipe in them and cleaning them out in the yard. I almost never ate another chitlin, but I got over it because I really do like them. And y'all talk about the smell. I've learned from my mom, I cook my chitlins in a crock pot overnight. I take an onion and quarter it, a lemon and half it, and put it in a crock pot, and they do not smell. Plus, you got to clean them properly as well.
Right.
Now, that's the daunting task. People ask me, do we have chitlins? No. You'd have to pay me $50 a plate. That is too much
No,
work.
that's right.
Because even when back in the old days, like Enrika said with the bucket, and I think that bucket came out of West Point, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken.
Brian
That's where the
Brothers.
factory was.
Yeah.
But those were the nastiest because they were clean, but they weren't clean. Now in the store we have Uncle Lou's and Aunt Bessie's and all those, and they're pre-cleaned. But don't get me wrong, you still got to clean them.
Yeah.
So you actually, so they're pig intestines.
They are.
Okay, so you're still going to put like a faucet or something to
Well,
what
now-
you're going to
now-
wash them out.
Well, that's what they used to do in the old days. Nowadays, you just put them in the sink and clean them good.
clean 'em-
Yeah,
clean 'em
good.
like that.
Yeah, you go through and there's extra fat on them. Sometimes you'll still see some corn on them where they ate corn because it's an intestine. You know,
Yeah.
think about it. It's a gut, so anything they ate is there.
Okay,
And,
well, I'm gonna say I saw one time somebody take the chitlins or cleaning the chitlins and then take it like a lasso over your head.
Oh, to
swing it
clean it
around
out.
to get the water out.
Okay, no. No, they're not typically nowadays.
That's
they're not-
performance art.
Right,
there,
that is.
Carol.
And they're not-
They're showing off.
They are because they're not that long anymore. They are
Oh,
much shorter strands now.
So when you buy them in a store now, they're
they're
about the size of a hot tamale or
Right,
something.
that's correct. They're,
Yeah.
they're not
No,
nearly.
they're
not
small.
long.
They're not.
They're not long,
Long,
like that
mm-mm.
anymore.
And then they
they've
have
been
them
chopped.
vacuum sealed, and they have them like in
I
vacuum
must be
sealed bricks.
country.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, back in the old days when I saw them clean them in the front yard, they were long and they did put a hose and run
Yeah.
it through there to get all that stuff out. But yeah,
So-
I love me some chitlins.
Whether we buy them at the store or slaughter and clean and prepare our own, let's talk about how they're actually cooked and prepared. Glenda,
Okay.
if you wouldn't mind,
All right.
share
Well-
like the process
Oh,
with
yeah.
us.
The first thing, of course, you got to buy them 2 or 3 days ahead, and you got to thaw them out because they only come frozen.
Okay.
You can't buy a fresh chitlin nowhere. So
Got it.
I usually get mine home, and I buy mine in the bag, and I take them and put them in the bathtub in the bag and let them thaw out in some cool water.
Okay.
For if I buy them late. If I buy them early enough, I can thaw them out in the refrigerator, but usually I'm late. And you take them and you go to the sink, you fix you some cold water, and you wash them individually. Each one, you touch it, and you clean it and pull the extra membrane off,
Right.
and get all the excess until it's clean, until it looks clean. Then you put it in cold water, you rinse it till all that blood and stuff is gone, and when they're clean. Then once I get them clean, I take them and put them in a huge pot on the stove, covered in water, and I let them boil, probably for about 45 minutes. And then I take that water and pour it off of them. Then I put another batch of water on them. No seasoning or anything at this point, just water. Then I boil them again, and I pour that water, because I'm getting the impurities off.
Gotcha.
Because it's still got impurities in there. Then once I get them as clean as I think I want them, I take them and put them in my crock pot with that aforementioned quartered onion and half a lemon, garlic pepper, salt, pepper, seasoned salt, garlic powder, and more onion and lemon. And I let them cook overnight in the crock pot. And the next morning, my house is not smelling, because my husband would have moved 48 years ago if they were. Because he had memories of his mama's house smelling. But mine don't stink in the crock pot. They don't smell.
And so the seasoning is just the lemon, the onion,
garlic. I use garlic powder, seasoned salt, black pepper, and a little bit of lemon juice. And I do put a little bit of vinegar in there too.
Now, when they're done and you take them out of the crock pot, do you use a sauce? Are you just
hot sauce?
Just put hot sauce on?
Now, some people like mustard, but I'm a hot sauce girl. Some Louisiana hot sauce or some Tabasco sauce. That's what I want on my chitlins.
Let's talk a little history.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in the U.S. here, we think chitlins were really came from the enslaved people because on the plantations and in the big houses, when they would slaughter a pig, the master of the house family would get all the good parts, and then what was left over, the intestines, the feet, the ears, the tails, the neck bones,
the brain,
fat back, and all that were left for the enslaved people.
That's correct.
To do something with.
And we did.
Yeah.
We took that pig ear and we cooked it for hours until it was tender because there's a membrane inside that ear that's really tough. Now, Big Apple Inn does pig ears, but they use a pressure cooker. You know, because it doesn't take long to get that membrane tender. But if you cook them at home, it takes hours to get a pig ear tender enough to eat it. Yeah. And the pig tail and the pig feet, it takes them a long time as well if you just cook them fresh. It takes a while. So it's not an instant food. It takes time.
So like so many of our foods, it was born out of circumstance.
Exactly. It was what we had to make the best out of we could. Yeah. It was, we had a chicken, because the chickens were in the yard, had just one catch it. But for the pork, we had to depend on them to give us what was left. And they were throwing it away, but we took it and made something out of it. We put the pork in our greens that we picked in the field that we had planted, greens. We put our pork meat in. Because right now, I don't cook a pot of greens unless I got a smoked turkey tail, a smoked ham hock, or a smoked pork tail. That's what goes in my greens.
Is that at the restaurant?
And at the restaurant, we only use smoked turkey tails because people are so conscious now about blood pressure and hypertension. We used to, when we first opened, we used pork pork ham hocks, but we transitioned from that to the pork turkey tail. And the smoked turkey tail, I'm sorry, I keep saying turkey tail. Yeah, the smoked turkey tail is what we use now in our greens.
Okay, Miss Enrika, what are you thinking?
Oh no, I'm just pleased that that Miss Glenda is here because we talk about food all the time, but I think that Miss Glenda, I've always referred to her as a gem because she has stories like that and you taste it in the food. And this is not a shameless plug. This is just really about how important it is with our foodways just to hear the stories and the traditions of things because if we don't, they're lost. And I just really enjoy being in the company of Ms. Glenda. So I'm just happy that she's here. I'm happy that we're having this conversation. It just makes my little nerdy chef heart beat so fast.
And cooking chitlins is becoming a lost art because these young folks, they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Right. So, I was just sitting here thinking how much longer.
Yeah. It won't be. I learned it from my mother who learned it from her mother.
Yeah.
And my daughter is learning. My daughter's 45 now, and the last 2 or 3 times I cooked them, I made her get in there and help because I told her, look, I'm 72 now. You got to learn how to do this. She's the one who loves to eat them, So you got to get in here because her brother's not that. My son who's with the restaurant, he doesn't really eat a lot of chitlins, but my daughter loves them. So, and her children love them. So she's got to learn how to cook them. So when I'm gone, she can continue that tradition.
Right.
Well, I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about my exposure to chitlins. My late exposure to chitlins was working with the B.B. King Museum and Club Ebony. And we were really getting Club Ebony going as a venue for these cruise ships that come down the Mississippi River. And they would bus them over to Club Ebony, and we would talk about the Chitlin Circuit and, music and clubs and all that. And one of the groups, one of the cruise line requested chitlins for the buffet. We would have catfish, just a buffet in Club Avenue, just laid out on an 8-foot table, fried catfish and stuff. So I had to go around looking for somebody to do the chitlins.
And you had to find somebody. Oh,
yeah. Well, one of my most admired people in the world was Carver Randall, and I'm sure a lot of people out in Radio Land have heard of Carver. He was a lawyer in Indianola, and he was also on the group of us that founded the B.B. King Museum. And he was a civil rights lawyer and one of the first African Americans to go to law school at Ole Miss. But anyway, I called up Carver and said, Carver, you've got to help me. I mean, we've recruited these people to come to Club Ebony, and they want chitlins. Oh, no problem, Carol. Rose will make them, his wife. So Rose Randall would make the chitlins for us, and not too many people. They would taste them, but it was interesting to me that this cruise line was trying to be authentic and really teach. Let people understand more about our food. They just weren't serving, a lunch. They were also serving history with the history of Club Ebony, which is absolutely fascinating. It was the oldest club in Mississippi and BB's home club. Right. So that was really where I tasted them. I had seen them made before, but that was the first time I tasted them. And
do you like them now? Okay.
And for me, it was more consistency. It was more the mouth feel.
And you can actually love chitlins and get a bad batch and never want them again. Because I was telling Enrika when we were sitting out there, some little cousins of mine went to visit some friends of theirs in Canton, and they said, Mama, so-and-so cooked some chitlins, but hers wasn't like yours. She said, what was different about them, baby? She said, they had some corn and stuff in them. They had not been cleaned properly. Those children probably were traumatized for life. They never wanted another chitlin because they weren't cleaned properly. So, of course, they didn't taste right. You've got to clean them. You've got to clean them right.
Well, Glenda, you were saying that you had them, New Year's Day?
We cook them for New Year's Day. Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's a celebration food.
It is.
In the Black community. What else goes with that?
That whole
day.
Let me tell you what that day looks like.
What you going to put on the table?
This is what it looks like every year at our house. You have chitlins. You have some baked chicken, you have some black-eyed peas, you have some collard greens, you have some cabbage greens, and you have some potato salad and some yams. That is a New Year's Day dinner at our house all the time. I mean, that's just the way it is, New Year's Day.
So I have a question about your potato salad.
Okay.
Because I really love African-American potato salad because it's creamier. Do you whip it, or is yours more...
No.
The potatoes still have their structure?
They still have their structure. So, now, my grandmother made a mashed potato salad, which it only had, it was like mashed potatoes, and then she put the pickled juice in it, and then a little mustard and mayonnaise and a little bit of sugar. And that was her mashed potato salad. I make it like my mama, which is I take my mayonnaise, and I only use sweet salad cubes, no pickle relish, ever. Sweet, you have to find them, sweet salad cubes, and a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and I put all that in the bowl with the mayonnaise. That's my base. And a little bit of mustard. That's my base. Then I take my potatoes. I boil my potatoes whole. So they stay firm.
What potato do you use?
I use either the russet or the red.
Yeah. Okay.
I use a russet or red. I prefer the russet. But I boil it with the skin on. And then when they cool, I take them and I peel them, and then I cube them in my hand. And then I add them to the dressing, which is the mayonnaise base. And I have a chunky potato salad.
Enrika, do you use the creamy style or the chunky style?
So I'm listening to Miss Glenda, and that's the way that my mama makes it. And she always would say too, like the potatoes need to be a little warm. So when you're mixing it in with the mayonnaise mixture, it'll absorb it better. And she cuts hers up in the hand. She puts hers in whole, and she typically boils the eggs and the potatoes together in the same pot. And I think
that is interesting.
I always do that because that's the way my grandparents did it.
That's how my mama did it.
And she definitely uses the salad cubes. And she may put like a little bit of the pimento when she's trying to be fancy.
I put a little paprika
and
for my
paprika.
Paprika's pretty.
Yeah, that's what I said. Paprika's pretty. It doesn't have any taste. It's just pretty.
on top of it. But I get lots of cooking videos and things on social media like Malcolm. and there are all these hysterical things that tell white people never to bring potato salad if they're
Like
invited.
putting raisins in it?
Yes. Where have you seen those too?
Yes.
It
I've
always
seen-
talks
somebody
about
actually said that
how
yesterday.
black people, y'all dread when you see a white person coming with a bowl of potato salad. You just take it and they go, oh, I never saw my potato salad again.
I know.
You get the clean bowl
We were
back.
talking about that yesterday. They used to take it and put it in the back room and say, oh, they must have ate it up. It's gone. No raisins in my potato salad.
I never
Please.
even heard of that
Oh,
until
yeah.
It's
a thing.
It's like
thing.
a running joke,
It's-
about
well, but
like the,
I've
you know.
seen
About
it.
white
I've
people?
seen it. I've seen
Oh,
it.
my Lord.
I worked for the
Glenn.
phone company 30 years. I've seen it.
Raisins
it.
in
Oh,
potato
I
salad.
bet
But
some of
it
those
went
phone
to the
company
back room.
buffets.
Yeah.
And the other one I saw this weekend was the lady was telling this man that brought the potato salad. She said, "Now, honey, when we invite you to a barbecue, just don't bring it that we got this
Ooh-wee.
covered.
We got that right. We got the potato salad.
We got this all covered.
Don't bring my potato salad and don't bring my baked beans. You can maybe fool me with a little ribs and a little chicken, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the potato salad and baked beans covered and the coleslaw.
I'll bring the plates and silverware.
We've had people that we
Marissa,
assigned
that's
that
smart.
too.
That's what
Yeah.
That's
that's
right.
what
You do.
it sounds
Yeah.
like it's wanted. Okay, well, talk to me about why I can't bring baked beans.
Because mine are so much better. A lot of people don't put meat. A lot of people don't put
You
meat
put
in theirs.
bacon in yours?
No, I put ground beef in mine.
Ground beef.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
just
Ground beef.
break it down for
Yeah,
me.
I start out with some ground beef, just like I'm making a spaghetti sauce. Ground beef with onions and peppers. I brown that, then I add in add those into my beans. Then I add my brown sugar, my mustard, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of barbecue sauce, and then I bake them. A little bit of mustard.
Well, I'm there except for I don't do the ground beef. I do bacon.
Okay. Now my mother used to do bacon.
And put it on top so it would get crisp.
My mom used to do
so
that
it would
too.
be very
I've
crunchy.
had it that way.
Very,
now. I've
that's
had it that
very
way.
classic.
Is there
yeah.
anything else y'all don't want me to bring when I come? I mean, I have a few good, but you.
But see, I'm a weirdo anyway, so I don't eat potato salad like that. I don't eat deviled eggs. So,
Oh, my
as they say,
goodness.
I
You
don't,
and
I
my
don't-
wife.
I don't be
Oh,
caring
deviled
about
eggs I
who brought the
love.
potato salad
And you know that-
and stuff. Like, just don't mess up those baked
Okay.
beans. Yeah.
And you know now
Glenda.
they're calling them angel eggs. You know we're in a new.
You're right.
You mean the deviled eggs or angel eggs?
They're angel eggs.
Well, I
now.
was going to tell you.
Dressed
Mine's
eggs.
Mine's
Dressed
still deviled.
eggs.
Dressed.
Mine's still deviled.
We have a friend in Memphis who's on the show a lot, and he came from Boonville, where Malcolm's from, and his mother called them dressed eggs
Dressed.
because we don't want to bring the devil.
Devil in, right. Well, now they're saying angel eggs, but mine are still deviled eggs.
All right, we're going to take a short break and come right back and continue this conversation about chitlins and other things with Enrika and our special guest, Glenda from... we got to talk about your restaurant when we come back. We want to get some info on that. But anyway, more Deep South Dining in just a few.
Together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
Mississippi is a place of deep roots where every story matters and every voice can be heard. At MPB, we stand with our local communities, bringing you the voices of those who shape our state through local programming that reflects our culture across small towns to big cities, from the Delta to the coast. We tell the stories that define us, from the music that carries our voices to the leaders who inspire change. MPB brings you the heart of Mississippi, celebrating Mississippi one story at a time. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South County. A little Bobby Rush there talking about the Chitlin Circuit and upcoming documentary on Bobby's life called The King of the Chitlin Circuit. And we've got one of the queens of the Chitlin Circuit in here that we now crown her that. But Carol, we have special guests, and we have so many things to get to. I wanted to ask Chef Enrika Williams to update us on some breaking news today about the Jackson Food and Wine Fest. The date has moved and some other things have changed.
Yes. So the Jackson Food and Wine Festival has now, the dates are March the 11th through the 13th. That's 2027. Chef Hunter Evans is the new chef chair over the food festival for the next 2 years. So he is creating programming and he has a vision that he will be able to see to fruition with the festival. And also the dates have changed. So on Thursday night there will be a chef dinner, and then on Friday and Saturday will be the tasting events. And the location, it's still at the Mississippi Museum of Art.
Great.
Which is a great venue, and we are really excited. I am one of the committee chair members with the festival, as well as a participant and a huge fan. So I am very excited about the upcoming season for the Food and Wine Festival.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and it's weird because one of the reasons the date changed is because the St. Patty's Parade, House St. Patty's Parade, moved from the fourth weekend to the third, and this event moved from the third to the second.
Yeah.
So we just sort of reshuffle the social calendar for Jackson in March of 2027. And we look forward to everyone participating in all of these events because they are very important. Let's talk a little bit about Sugar's Place. And Ms. Glenda, if you would share with us about your restaurant and the details for our listeners who might be looking for a good place to have a lunch.
Yeah, Sugar's Place downtown. We're located at 168 James H. Meredith Drive, which used to be West Griffith Street. So don't let the name fool you. We didn't move. The city changed the name to James H. Meredith Drive. But we're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. We open at 7 o'clock with breakfast. And then we usually start lunch about 10:30 or 11 when the grits and biscuits have run out. We also offer a wonderful brunch on Saturdays from 9 to 2 there at Sugar's as well.
Now, it's in a building that used to be a part of the law school, right?
Well, no, it's actually located next to Sterling Towers Apartments.
Sterling Towers, that's what I meant.
It's adjoining, right across from the law school.
But I remember there used to be another little cafe in there. I think Steve Long may have been involved with it many years ago.
Years ago, there was Sal McGundy's was there.
Sal McGundy's.
A sandwich shop, because I worked in the Landmark Center for 30 years for AT&T, and we used to walk over there to Sal McGundy's, and I have a restaurant in that same building. So
how about that?
So how long have you had your restaurant?
I retired in 2007. We opened Sugar's in 2008, so we've been there 18 years as of May of this year.
Good for you.
18 years. We made it. I tell people we made it through the COVID, and we made it through the water crisis. Because during COVID, we shut down for 3 years our dining in because, they were saying you had to have 6 feet between tables, and we didn't have that. So we had to close down our dining room. We built a wall. Then after 3 years, we took the wall down and put our dining room back in and totally renovated it.
And you do breakfast and lunch?
We do breakfast and lunch and catering. We cater by appointment. We can feed from 6 to 600.
And what sort of dishes would one expect for
well,
lunch?
For
both,
breakfast, for breakfast, you come in. You're going to have our full breakfast, which is of course our grits, regular or cheese, and then you get bacon, sausage, or country pleasing smoked sausage, egg, and biscuit. That's our full breakfast. We also have our chicken and waffle with wings or tenders. We also have our
There's pictures of it right there.
Our shrimp and grits are available during the week now. We used to just have that on Saturday with brunch. And chicken and waffle is available all day and in the evenings, breakfast
That's what
or
I'm
lunch.
coming for. I just saw
Yeah,
that picture.
that chicken and waffle is amazing. Oh, my God. People, I had a sister-in-law who actually came Saturday from Texas, and she had never had it. I said, "You'll love it, the sweet and the salty."
Yeah.
And she did, but she didn't think she'd like it, but it's wonderful. And on Tuesdays, it's chicken tetrazzini. Don't try to call between 10 and 2 because you're not going to get through because it's tetrazzini Tuesday.
Yes.
That's our big seller on Tuesdays, and now it's kind of been our big seller on Wednesday. Monday's usually red beans and rice and sausage. And then Thursday, we kind of rotate because we have a commitment with Nucor Steel in Flowood where we do lunches there on site. So our Thursday menu kind of changes, and then Friday is always our catfish. But our biggest seller would be our chicken tetrazzini.
Thursday is catfish?
No, Friday.
Friday, catfish.
Well, we
Friday.
have it every day. We have catfish every
Okay,
day.
okay.
We have catfish wings, tenders,
beautiful.
and
I'm
shrimp.
looking
every
at
day.
it.
Yeah, we have catfish wings, tenders, and shrimp every day. And we have collard greens, macaroni and cheese, green beans, yams, and cornbread every day.
All right. I know where I'm having lunch tomorrow.
Oh, once you start it,
It's Tetrazzini Day.
yes.
Do you have to get there early?
And you start on a good day too.
Yeah, 11.
You gotta get there early.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, you have to get there early. Well, usually now, because like I say, we do it on Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't usually run out on Tuesday, but we usually run out on Wednesday.
So do you get a lot of customers from the law school?
I do. When we came there in 2008, Dean Rosenblatt, who was a dean at that time, came over.
Lovely man.
And he has been and every dean since him has been our biggest supporter. We do a lot of catering at the law school for the students and the staff. They're
1
very
minute. We got
supportive.
1 minute. Let's circle around to Estella's and the good old days.
Oh, yeah. I
Yes,
was
I wanna hear
sharing.
this story.
Yeah,
This
I was
is
sharing that back in the day when the clubs and the stuff in the city closed, you had to go out to the county, and the place to go was Estella's and go get your fried shrimp and your chitlins. And my uncle was a chitlin cleaner out there. He's been dead long time now, but
What did y'all say, Moonbeam Street?
Moonbeam Drive.
It's now called Percy Simpson Drive.
Yeah, I
It's
knew
been
they changed the
renamed,
name.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was where Club 77 was, where
Right.
I got married. Club 77. Yeah, it was
Well,
there.
it lasted. You said 40
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I've been married for 48 years on the 11th of March when you're having the festival.
Congratulations and thanks for joining us today. Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio. We're funded by generous contributions from listeners like yourself, and we thank you. Our show is produced by Marissa Vaughn. For our guests, Enrika Williams and Glenda Barner. And for my co-host, Carol Palmer, I'm Malcolm White saying please stay tuned now for At Issue coming up next. And join us next Monday at 4 for more Deep South Dining, and every Sunday morning at 9. We'll see you next week.